In 2003, Ken Winiemko appeared in this courtroom after almost a decade in prison. He listened to a crime lab tech say what Winiemko knew all along. He was not the masked man who raped a Clinton Township woman in 1994. DNA evidence now proved it. 7 Action News was there as Winiemko celebrated on the day of his release from prison.
I'd like to propose a toast to good friends and to the truth.
But the truth, bittersweet. The truth was, while the state gave Ken back his freedom, the state did not make up for so much taken away. Time with his son, his mom, and especially his dad.
He always believed me. He always knew that I was innocent. But I was looking forward to the day where I could actually walk out the prison door to give him a hug and tell him that I love him.
Instead, he visited a grave. The World War II veteran died on Memorial Day 3 years before his son would be cleared.
He couldn't understand how this could happen in this country.
When Ken Winiemko got out of prison, he had none of the belongings he had before he was locked up. And when he went to find work, he found that spending almost a decade in prison had put quite an ugly hole in his resume. When he showed it to employers, they turned him away. He found himself broke.
They come out of prison with nothing.
State Senator Stephen Beta says the state helps the guilty on parole with clothing, food, housing, and job placement. He says the state should help the innocent wrongfully convicted rebuild their lives too. He says right now exonerees can sue, but it takes years. Senate Bill 61 would give immediate justice. It would pay up to $40,000 a year for time imprisoned, plus economic damages and legal expenses.
A society that allows an injustice to be done in its name really has to examine what it's there for.
Ken Winiemko appreciates Senator Beta's work. This is video recorded when both testified in support of wrongful conviction compensation several years ago. But Winiemko says the current bill does not do enough. That spending time in prison harms your health, and exonerees deserve physical and mental health care. He says therapy helped him survive after the terror that is prison for an innocent man.
I have seen people stabbed to death. I've seen people raped. I've seen older men being robbed. There were so many things that people take for granted every day in life. You know, being with family, being with friends.
Ken Winiemko now is cherishing his freedom and struggling to stay healthy. Just days ago, he suffered from a heart attack. He is still recovering. In the meantime, he is asking you to write your lawmakers to get legislation passed for those who are wrongfully convicted. Kim Russell, 7 Action News.